Good morning and welcome to episode 1640 of Hard Factor. It is Tuesday, February 4th, 2025. Thank you for cheating on the news with us. 80% accuracy guaranteed on this podcast. Patreon.com/Hard Factor. If you need more Hard Factor today, Wes is going to kick us off. Wes, what do you got?
I got North Koreans scavenging and hunting for poop to meet a quota that Kim Jong-un has set for the country. We're talking human poop that you have to deliver once a year, and it is fucked up.
No need to tease that one.
Nope. Stick around.
Well, that's good enough to just tell them what you're going to tell us.
Yeah, really.
That's really a tradition unlike any other. The Masters kind of, this one's got one up on them because nobody else does this, right? I mean, does anybody else
think not? I think Beatles do it, but
some Beatles for sure. All right, we'll dive in.
Oh,
dive into this cow pie with Wes here up top. All right, and then I got had Magnanimous Monday for you yesterday. Now I got Trump Tuesday. We're back in the 47th era. So Trump Tuesday sometimes.
He's keeping busy.
Well, he likes to hit it hard on Monday. So ipso facto, you might get some Trump Tuesdays right for the next couple of years.
He's refreshed from golf on the weekends. He's ready.
Right.
Right.
I think that's it, Wes. Yeah, he gets all his plans together while golfing, and then takes a ton of Adderall Monday morning.
Yeah.
And that, and then it's over for the news.
Washes down 30 milligrams with a few Diet Cokes, and he's off and running.
Diet Coke
signing everything on the desk. Yeah.
Do you think he's already needed a fix up or a new Diet Coke button? You think he's worn the first one out? The second one, but the first one.
Imagine being the Diet Coke bitch. That's got to be the worst job because he needs it so fast. Like
Chaiwala.
The person who's like the supervisor of the Diet Coke person's a real jerk too, being like, if it's not perfect, they fire him. The head butler's always a dick to the other butlers. Yeah.
That's where
testing the Diet Coke in your hands before you bring it to him. Is this one colder? Is this one colder? Is this one colder?
Which one is he gonna not yell at me about? And then Mark, you're gonna clean it up today. What do you got?
I've got Ingenuity. So we had Magnanimous, and now we have Ingenuity, interesting entrepreneur, I want to say. And then also we're going to talk about furries too to close the show. Big furry convention.
Big
furry convention.
I know they have a lot of conventions.
There's some rules for this one. We're going to get into. There's some brand new rules.
I imagine there's a furry convention every weekend somewhere in America.
You're right.
I know Reno.
This one's in Scotland. They do it once a year. Then all these freaks will go to wherever next week. And then,
I know Reno's got a big annual one. I was upset one year because I missed it. I was out of town. I'm not a furry, but I do want to go watch a furry convention live in person because seems like if you're going to do people watching, a furry convention seems like just as good as it gets.
They could probably convince me to try it out if I went to one. I can see
it's fun enough.
Yeah, everyone's having a great time there. Of course,
you bet your ass they are.
Yeah, I could see a unicorn convincing Wes to become a furry.
A hot chick could easily convince me to become a furry.
Yeah, but you don't know if she's hot because she's wearing a furry outfit.
Wes's furry era would be the best. No, you know she's hot because it's not like you go everywhere in the costume. It's like a thing. It's a once in a while
pulling heads off everyone.
Yeah, but you better really memorize her outfit because there's going to be 30 unicorns.
Yeah.
She could get lost in the shuffle, you know what I mean? You're like, I'm following around this hot chick, like Home Alone 2 when he sees his dad with the jacket at the airport, gets on the wrong flight, you're in the wrong hole. You know what I mean?
You gotta bite her hand to mark her.
Yeah, you got to mark her.
Yeah. It's crazy.
All right. Put a little colored tape around her ear.
Yeah, something. Good. Can't wait to hear about that.
Mask out of here.
All right, well, let's get into this North Korea stuff, guys. My grandpa used to tell me, he used to say, stop eating so fast. And then he would say, Wesley, remember one thing, no matter how bad life gets here in America, at least You're not a one-legged, blind, gay, black man living in North Korea. And that's about as bad as it gets, right? And then he'd ask me the same question he asked me every time we hung out. He'd say, "You ain't gay, are you?" And then, while his message had tinges of homophobia and racism and ableism, the message was clear: count your blessings that you came out of a vagina on American soil, right? Otherwise, you could end up doing all kinds of crazy shit to survive, like what they have to do in North Korea every year. And I didn't know this existed. But before I get into what these poor little buggers have to do in order to survive, I have to ask you guys a very personal question.
Okay.
Disgusting question. I'm glad Pat's not on the show because he doesn't like to talk about this stuff. I got to ask.
For a guy with the smelliest farts I've ever experienced in my life, he doesn't like to talk about farts and poops. I get it.
Well,
yeah.
It's too close to home. It's too close to home.
It's medical level stink, but okay.
Yeah. So how much would you say on average in weight do you poop a day?
Oh, great question.
2 to 3 pounds.
Yeah, I think I know it for a fact because I like to weigh myself after. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2 to 3 pounds on average. Yeah.
Okay. I think that we push the averages high in this realm, but I asked ChatGPT what the average person daily total stool is, and it said it ranges from about 100 to 250 grams, which is 0.2 to 0.55 pounds.
No, over that.
Well, you got to consider women. You got to it's not all fat guys out there like us taking shits. It's
you're gonna need a comma for my grams.
I'd say a light day. I'll revise. I'd say maybe a 1.5 to 2 pounds is more.
Agreed for me. Agreed. Maybe not 3 pounds, but if we're talking grams, over 1,000 grams.
Yeah, I mean, I believe I took a combination of shits yesterday that was no less than 3 pounds. Hand the Bible, but
that's what I'm saying. Right. So proud of it, and then I go weigh myself before and after, like because I'm so proud of it. Yeah, and then I get disappointed if it's not a certain amount. You know.
Yeah. Did you have barbecue the day before? I mean, there's a lot of variables.
Yeah, there is hydration, diet, digestion, fiber intake. Those can lead to larger stools, harder stools, more dense stools. It's a lot of different factors, but the average is between, and this varies from where you look at it. I saw different accounts, but ChatGPT, who scours the internet for the most accurate, told me 0.2 to
they're not there yet. AI is not there yet, Wes. Wow. Some days when I don't hit my number, I go straight back to the can and just sit there. And I'm like, you're not done.
Yeah. Well,
about more.
Yeah.
Let's just say our shit prowess would be revered in North Korea, and all of our neighbors would be beating down our door to get their hands on our shit, literally. Sounds crazy, but that is what is happening in North Korea right now after Kim Jong-un demanded an impossibly high quota of human shit for his people to use as fertilizer. That's right. North Korea every year has a quota that each citizen has to produce because they use human shit as fertilizer to grow crops over there because they don't have actual fertilizer. Their land is so poor. And, you know,
well, the Amish do this too.
Do the Amish collect their own shit?
The Amish use human shit for compost sometimes.
And probably some communes like Hippy Dippy.
Yeah.
More. We could go to any of those places. We could go live. Well, the Amish would be tough, but we could go.
Nobody's advertising it like North Korea, but it's not like
sought after at a commune too.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So over here in America in January, it's time to join gyms, break up with your partner. Now the holidays are over. Take out a personal loan to pay for Christmas. Over in North Korea, they get the shit quota. That's their January.
Now, Wes, how do they collect shit when they don't eat food and don't shit?
That's a good question, Mark. That's the big problem, and that's where that's where we're going to talk about today because it's a huge problem. And the new quota that Kim Jong-un has set is impossibly high. So this January, he set the bar higher than previous years. And my theory is that he wants to use some of the shit, obviously, to put in balloons to send over to South Korea too. He wants a little surplus
because he's been wasting some on his shit balloon war.
Yeah,
right.
So
worth it.
Yeah, so
that was worth it. But he needs to refill his reserves because he has drained the strategic shit reserve. He's got to fill it back up.
Yeah. So Kim has demanded that each adult, this is according to Radio Free Asia, this new quota that was released in the Daily Mail article that picked it up, each adult must contribute 500 kilograms of shit and each school kid 200 kilograms. That's 1,100 pounds and 440 pounds respectively. So
per year, per decade?
The year. in the year.
So if the average human poops a half pound at the max,
so the article
365 days in a year, you're looking at 180 pounds. That's not going to work out.
Now the article in the Daily Mail did contradict what ChatGPT told me. There, according to Live Science, the average shit a person produces in a year is 320 pounds. So that's more accurate. I think that's
they're
about
closer to a pound a day. That's probably close.
Yeah.
Still not 10,
but
not 1,100 pounds.
Right.
Right. And a North Korean is, I mean, you got to take maybe a quarter pound a day on average.
If you're lucky.
Yeah.
Lucky.
Maybe a tenth of a pound
on
average per day.
Yeah. I mean, they're not eating much over there. And, you know, if you didn't think it was true, here is a famous North Korean defector who looks like she's made of plastic, quite frankly. I forget her name, but here she is talking about the quota on the radio. Here's what she has to say about it.
The idea that you have to collect something that most of us would never want to touch, and you're stealing it from other people.
So government gives this quota. They are so poor they cannot even afford the fertilizer. Like in your family, if you have 4 people in the family, bring 1 ton of poop.
How is that possible? I mean, does a family of 4 make 1 ton of poop each year?
No, and you're not. You don't even poop once a month if you are starved there. So that's why we have to go steal poop.
Yeah.
And hunting for poop.
Steal poop.
And hunting for poop.
Dude, I mean, I get the plastic surgery. You know, like you're in North Korea your whole life. You defect to America. Of course, you're going to spend any money you're given, which you're going to be given a lot because you're like one of the only defectors of all time on plastic surgery.
Which is just so shiny. Yeah.
So this probably keeps the dogs out of the kitchen bowls, right? Like this is because you have to get animal shit, right? Like
Yeah, they do try
to off the menu with this quota, which is good.
Yeah. So, but the problem is that this quota is so high that violence is breaking out now, and people are fighting and trying to steal each other's shit. So,
is this true?
Yeah, I mean, it's being picked up by news outlets. I don't know
if I believe. I don't know if I believe.
Picked up by news outlets, we have found out doesn't necessarily.
Here's some photos of them collecting the shit, and
is that just dirt?
That's manure, right? Like that's like they're collecting like cow shit there. You think
it's not like they're giving you like turds. People put their own shit into a compost, and then it turns into this.
But how do we know that that's composted human shit?
We don't know, Mark.
How do we know that lady's not full of shit?
Mark, of all the things that have come out of North Korea, the ridiculous things in North Korea, I'm buying it. I think it's true.
I'm just playing devil's advocate since we're 80% accurate. I think it might be a little far fetched, but let's run with it.
Yeah. Well,
I like it. I mean, I like to think that they're out there battling over turds.
Yeah, they are. They are. According to the article, one fight in Unsan County, which is north of the capital, left two men hospitalized. A local source told the RFA, whatever that is. He said a factory worker was trying to steal feces from an outhouse next to another person's home. They were fighting each other with axes and shovels and were seriously injured. Another incident, a brawl erupted after a schoolboy was caught raiding the public toilets. Quote, the head of the neighborhood watch unit flipped the student's cart over and shouted at him. Then the kid's mother came out and argued with the watch and unit leader, asking if the poop belonged to him. Things escalated and a full-blown fight broke out. So.
Supreme leaders turds. And I mean, imagine, because those are the government turds. If you take a government shit on a government toilet in North Korea, those are not your turds, buddy.
Yeah,
it's like as a kid,
murder you for trying to grab your turds out of a government toilet.
We're sold. Remember when they had like public phones or whatever, and you put your finger in to see if someone left a quarter in those machines, like something like that. They're doing that with turds in the restrooms.
Yep, they are.
Does one have one? Yeah,
exactly. That's exactly what they're doing. And the women are mostly responsible for collecting the turds because they're at home. And they have to supplement their husband's government wages, so they go out and collect the turds. And again, they are stealing also pig shit over there.
That's what I'm saying. It's got to be mostly animal shit.
It's got to be mixed with.
As she pointed out, they don't poop much.
Right.
Once a month, she said.
They're stealing each other's shit from outhouses. And fights are erupting with axes.
And is some of the stuff she said a little unbelievable, Will?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
I believe anything that comes out of North Korea.
Yeah. But it sounds like it is a fact that this dude has that Kim Jong-un has raised the bounty or whatever, the quota.
Yeah.
And then I guess there's these reported incidents of violence. So it does sound like people are battling for turds, despite the lady who looked like plastic probably, telling a few tales.
Yeah. Now, the communal toilets in the neighborhood are locked and inaccessible, so people have a hard time finding all this poop. And a source
they'll get in.
The other, if you have to, because if they don't, the punishment, if you don't meet your poop quota, according to a Ryangang province source in the north of the country, he told the news that people who failed could be publicly reproached or face a severe punishment at a labor training camp. And those are the famous labor training camps. So
sent to labor camps if you don't poop enough, don't give them enough of your poop. Oh, that's rough.
So thank God we don't live in North Korea. Imagine trying to harvest your neighbor's shit and fighting over them.
Dude, this could be big business over there.
Why don't they just? Oh, they don't have
a bunch of shit.
Yeah,
I mean,
they don't have the money to buy it. That's the whole issue. So.
Right.
Yeah, but whatever they do have, I mean, look, it's all about squeezing from the poor in these type of situations. Like live comment from Pepper Life Adventure. He's out helping out with the hurricane relief in Florida. He's going to Asheville next week. It's always in these disasters, always about price gouging and squeezing from the poor. So whatever they do have, they'll give you,
Right.
They don't want to go to the labor camp.
No.
This is just crushing the citizens.
Do you poop more when you're scared?
No, I think
isn't that what they say? It scared the shit out of you.
Yeah,
that's true. But that has to be like a sudden scare. I feel like if you have constant anxiety over not pooping enough, it might give you stage fright.
Well, maybe that's it. Will you could have a guy dress up as like the labor camp recruiter. The guy's but he's not. And he like knocks on your door with like the labor truck.
Then you go take a shit.
And then you get scared when you see him show up and you take a shit, and that's the service.
Wild stuff. So I know you can't hear us, but
they'll pay you in grains of rice.
Right.
I think he wants it for the balloons. Let's be honest. He needs it for the balloons.
At the labor camp, you're just building the balloons.
Right. Yeah, you're filling the balloons.
You didn't help us fill up the balloons this way, so you're going to help us fly them.
Yeah. What a terrible country. Terrible country. And guys, I imagine trying to harvest your neighbor's shit and fight them over it is quite a workout that you can do at home. It's a little dangerous. But for a real great and effective workout that's also safe, try out Fitbod. Okay. Fitbod.
Much safer, less safer.
Yeah. It's like having a personal trainer in your pocket that builds you a fully personalized workout, and it will never recommend 10 sets of fighting your neighbor over their shit. I can guarantee you that. Never have to do those. Instead, Fitbod will create a tailored workout just for you, whether you're at home or have access to a full gym. Fitbod will give you solutions to give you a great full body workout no matter where you are. It also teaches you proper techniques for exercises so you can maximize their benefit, not waste an ounce of potential muscle gain or energy on incorrect form, which is one of the things I love most about the app. Over 1,000 demonstration videos you can watch to make sure you're doing everything right. They created a workout for me. I got to pull it up, but I'm not going to pull it up because I can't find it. Anyway, I told him what I have in my house.
It's a great app, dude. It's like Wes is saying, like you just put what equipment you have, how much time you have to work out, if you have a gym membership or not, whatever. They're gonna, and then the app just does the rest. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And it gives you your plan. And it reminds you every time you need to go work out. It's like, hey, you need to go hit those lat, raises or dumbbell raises or whatever now.
Yeah, and the workouts adapt to your growth. So each workout is challenging enough to push you to make progress. And again, it keeps track, so it's always pushing you. It's like a personal trainer, but better, and it's cheaper and easier to build a custom fitness plan that works for you. So level up your workout. Join Fitbod today to get your personalized workout plan just in time for Fatathon. By the way, join the Discord for that. Get 25% off your subscription or try the app free for 7 days at fitbod.me/hard factor. That's FITBOD.me/hard factor to get 25% off your subscription or try the app for 7 days for free. It's awesome. It's an awesome app. And it'll help if it breaks the entry point into working out. It's very easy to do, and it'll teach you how to do it properly, which is important.
Oh yeah. Great app. Great app. Try them out. Also get your Fatathon starting weights in by Friday if you want to be tracked on the main sheet with everybody. You can join at any time, but if you want to start at the same time as the group and lose weight with us Memorial Day, get your started weight in this week, Discord server. Patreon.com/HeartFactor. Okay. The once and current president of the United States of America, Donnie J. Trump, Donnie T, I call him sometimes. He was busy on Monday of this week, February 3rd. 4 large things, big things, in order of biggest to least biggest. First, news broke that Trump is planning to sign an executive order to dismantle the Department of Education. Okay. And the plan is apparently, this is according to Politico, everybody's reporting it, Wall Street Journal, whatever. It's apparently happening at some time this month. The executive order will be signed. And the plan in it is apparently to send many of the powers of the Department of Education back to the states and also break up its remaining, federal regulatory powers to other existing federal agencies. And because it's such a big project, it'll likely require congressional approval to be fully implemented. The jury is out if he will have enough votes to get the congressional approval to eventually dismantle, the Department of Education like he wants to. So that's as far as I could tell what's going on with the Department of Education. You've probably seen it popping up all over the place.
I have the same question as live comment from Tony. Does this mean that Linda McMahon will be back on WWE TV this month? Because wasn't she
it
just
does
appointed?
It does, Tony.
Tough
because
for her. Huh? Yeah.
Because Trump. No, it means she'll be back on WWE
because she's out of a job. Because didn't he hire her as
to choke slam the Department of Education into not existing anymore.
Okay.
So what's likely to happen if because she has been appointed or been nominated to be the secretary of the Department of Education. If the rumors are true, if the reporting is true, she would presumably be the final secretary of the Department of Education. So he's bringing her in to be
she's like a raider when you buy a company and hack it to pieces.
Yeah, exactly. Like one of those vicious
gecko.
Right. Yeah. So, that's if the reporting is true. Who knows? Nothing has come out for sure on this, but it's trending all over the place.
So the Department of Education, it does 8% of funding for public schools. So most of the funding already comes from local taxes, right? For most public schools, it does a lot of the guidelines for curriculum and standardized testing, specialized programs and stuff like that. But the majority of funding already comes from, I feel like we talked about this a lot in the Discord, went back and forth, it might affect special ed and low income the most, which sucks. If anything this, it seems like it's going towards what Florida did a couple years ago with the Don't Say Gay bill or whatever, where each state is basically going to come up with their own curriculum.
Right. And in fact, in Nevada, I think they should just go all in on basically frame history in a way that the mining in this state made everything possible.
It's going to be hilarious when people go to a big college and they come from all over the country and they just have they were taught completely.
You only have your own state.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
that's not how that war went. It's going to be insane because there's going to be. I'm not saying anything other than that. I don't know how it's going to shake out, but it seems like
it sounds like a crazy idea.
It does sound a little crazy
to the year. Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
They're trying something. Apparently, since the Department of Education has existed, 1979, our test scores have only gotten worse. So we were literally smarter, apparently, statistically as a nation prior to the existence of the Department of Education.
Yeah, maybe states will up the standards and the expectations.
Facto, Linda McMahon chokeslam is what Trump seems to have planned.
Sleeper hold.
Doesn't seem like it's going to be good for Mississippi.
Nothing is good for Mississippi education.
Yeah, you might be right.
Yeah. Trump also announced plans to shut down USAID, which is an aid division, on Monday via the first. It actually happened at midnight Sunday night, Monday morning in the first Doge Spaces on Twitter with Elon. He was like, "Oh yeah, Trump just approved to shut down USAID," and then the next day, Rubio was like, yes, I'm the acting USAID head. And then Trump is like, yeah, they're committing fraud over there. So this one is more of a gray area in terms of authority, with Trump saying it's his call alone to shut down USAID. We'll see if somebody
the hell do they do?
it.
International development? What the hell do
International aid, the U.S. Agency of International Development, right? So they give out like the money. They give out money to foreign countries. Those two agencies combined, education and USAID, are over $300 billion annual budget. The USAID budget, this is why they're getting shut down and they're being accused of fraud, has grown exponentially over the last couple of years.
Whoa,
they doubled
in the past decade.
During the Biden administration, USAID just took the fuck off. So basically, Trump is saying it's fraud, and that's why they're being shut down.
Yeah, it would have been good to be working for them the past couple of years.
Yeah, it would. Boy, it was a cash in. That was a rocket ship right there. Do you see that? Like fucking Nvidia is jealous of the USAID.
Looks like a shit coin.
That's an alarming chart.
Yeah.
Yeah. And right, so that's basically the USAID one. I think probably, when you boil it down, way less controversial than the Department.
Yeah, that doesn't ring off alarm bells like the Department of Education for me.
Yeah, especially when you see that fucking budget chart.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? Yeah, maybe just start a different one. The U.S. Also resolved tariff disputes, which are technically trade, with both Mexico and Canada to start the week. They've both been paused, the new tariffs on Mexico and Canada, with both countries agreeing to send more military to the U.S. border to help crush the fentanyl epidemic. Trudeau of Canada, President Trudeau,
nice
current Prime Minister of Canada, Trudeau, is even making a new fentanyl czar position.
Oh man, that would be the sickest job.
Yeah, cool. By the cartel. Yeah, I mean, you would definitely be on a short list for the cartel, but badass title.
You think? How do you think they'd kill you, Wes, with fentanyl?
I think they'd cut your head off and hang you from a bridge.
It's one of their classic techniques.
Could be either. Could be either of those.
Kill your whole family, you know.
Yeah, how did they gonna kill your family though?
Yeah. Either way. But yeah, it's pretty funny on that one. Obviously, it did have huge implications for both the Mexican and Canadian economies. Tim A in the Discord, who works in Canadian farming, said that, basically they shut down operations this week because of the tariffs. And a lot of Canadian CEOs, if you weren't following along with this one, they were actually complaining from what I had seen, like especially one of them, I think, is the CEO of Shopify or something like that. They were complaining. They basically wanted Trudeau to avoid having to have this week-long shutdown because they knew that the way the tariffs were set up was going to hurt Canada more than the US. So they were a lot of the Canadian business people, I think, were pissed at Trudeau, really, because he could have avoided this if he had just made the deal prior to the tariffs.
Everyone's pissed at their own guy, not Trump, for doing the tariffs. Is that what you're saying?
Well, a lot of them came out and said, yeah, he should have made a deal prior to the tariffs being levied.
Or the tariffs might suck.
Well, they're resolved either way. The more support at the border for the fentanyl epidemic is allegedly
that's good.
The storyline they're going with on resolving those. And
I'll pay a little extra for maple syrup if we can get the fentanyl under control.
Oh, now you don't. Now you don't pay any extra, and allegedly it's going to be more under control. And Trump made a new fund called the Sovereign Wealth Fund on Monday, aimed at funding national infrastructure projects. It mirrors other public funds in Norway, Singapore, and Abu Dhabi. Basically, they store money away. Most of it, I think, is from energy profits in this case, and invest it in ways to support American businesses. And presumably they make enough money on those assets that they invest in to build more shit with it, right? So like that's the principle behind it. Norway, I think, has a pension fund that's managed that way. Singapore, Abu Dhabi, some other public funds that are managed that way. This is, I guess, the first Trump one, I guess, the Sovereign Wealth Fund for infrastructure. So that's it. That's the Trump Tuesday. He's busy, like I said. A lot of Diet Cokes.
Wearing out pens.
Oh, yeah. Big time wearing out pens. Signing that shit. Okay, well, I have an ingenious for you today. Meet 28-year-old Malaysian man, Shazali Sulaiman. Can you describe him for me?
Looks like a guitarist, wannabe guitarist for Pantera, except
Right.
not white. What's his nationality? again?
Malaysia.
He looks like one of those guys that can
Malaysian
sing
Pantera.
Journey perfectly. And
Exactly.
Exactly.
Okay, now focus more on like the first image, or like don't look. Forget about his shirts. Pretend like he's not wearing a Star Wars shirt.
Mhm.
Maybe like a Black Flag shirt or something more hardcore.
He wants that to be a Black Flag shirt. He just doesn't own one. So the best thing he has is Stormtrooper.
Would you say if he changed his wardrobe up and wasn't himself a huge nerd, he looks intimidating?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, with the SIG especially, if he swapped that polo button to the top of his neck with like a leather jacket and the SIG, that's more.
Yeah, we know he's not hardcore because he buttons all the way up, and then the other picture is wearing a Star Wars shirt. But pretend like he's wearing any other shirt besides the Star Wars shirt in this scenario, because Shazali said his friends and other people kept telling him that he did look intimidating when they weren't looking at his nerdy shirts, and that maybe he was in like a gang. And instead of Shobrav and half of the Malaysians, he decided to go into his own non-SEO optimization business. And that business is he decided he could use his rough around the edges looks for profit. And he created a business dedicated to guys who wear Star Wars shirts to hire him to harass their girlfriends, then lose to them in a public fight to impress them as a hero. You follow me?
What a great idea.
Yeah.
Love it.
This is the king, like Ware Harrelson does in Kingpin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That coffee wasn't hot.
Yeah.
Now this coffee's hot.
Yeah.
Exactly like in Kingpin.
Yeah. That's awesome.
What's he doing in here? What are you doing here, you son of a bitch? I was like,
It's a classic scene.
Munson.
So what? So what does Shazali promise? He says that he will meet you at like a bar or coffee shop somewhere in public, and he will wait until you go to the bathroom or give him the sign, and then he will harass your girlfriend. Part of the services is he's probably going to grope her a little bit.
Oh, okay, that's over the line probably.
There's got to be something in it for Shazali besides the cash, So he's like, I got to make it look real. So he waits till you're not in the room or whatever, or maybe you are in the room, but he goes right for your girlfriend or partner, and then
he actually touches her tits, and you really beat his ass for real because you're mad.
He says pretends to harass, but how do you make it seem real? You can't pretend to harass a girl into getting upset. You have to harass her, right?
Generally, yeah.
Yeah.
He put on the paperwork for his website, pretends to harass, but she's not in on it. So like if I pretend to harass you, what the hell does that mean?
Sure. Yeah, it's harassment. If she's not aware, it's
he harasses the shit out of her. You come back from the bathroom and you say, "Hey, no one gropes my girlfriend but me," and then you fake beat him up.
Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey, buddy. Hey, pal.
Yeah.
You crossed the line. You crossed the line. Hey, pal.
Yeah. Exactly. And then you beat him up.
Yeah, makes sense.
And then he leaves and he says, no one is as strong as this guy, and I should know because I'm a terrible harasser, and I do this all the time, and no one's ever beaten me up. And then he leaves with
I win every fight.
Yeah, this is the first fight I ever lost. You got yourself a man there, sweetie. Yeah. And then he leaves, and then you have hero sex that night.
Great. I mean, it sounds like it should work.
Yeah, it apparently it does because people are hiring
every time.
Unfortunately, the next time you're in that situation, your girlfriend will say, "My boyfriend will beat your ass," and then you're on your own.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Then your boyfriend runs away.
Yeah, but it's good until that next time it happens.
Yeah.
Shazali's business pitch word for word is, quote, "Are you tired of your partner thinking you're weak? For a reasonable fee, I can prove them wrong." He left out by tricking them, and also that hiring him, in fact, proves them right. He didn't put that part in. Right. He also compared.
Yeah, but that hurts the sale. He's a salesman at heart, so he's got to promote his brand.
It's smart. It's good. It's good promotion. He also the pretend to harass too. He also compared the services to being like a WWE act. So he's rocking a Star Wars shirt and loves the WWE. I like both too. I'm not pretending to be a tough guy or not a nerd, but I hope he's a good actor because he might just come across as the gigantic nerd he is the entire time. Yeah.
Yeah, but as he gets more popular and more recognizable, you run the risk of your girlfriend breaking up with you on the spot.
Yeah. Knowing that it's him.
Well, also hopefully she's not receptive to the groping.
Yeah, she might just leave with him.
Yeah, what if you come back from the bathroom and they're making
Yeah,
out?
how many times has that happened where he just ended up leaving with the girl?
It's all good for Shazali. Any outcome's good. He gets paid. He leaves with the girl. It doesn't matter, right? So,
Right.
and he knows the guy's not going to actually be able to beat him up in case he does leave with the girl. So,
Yeah,
Right,
he
they're
should
a
just
nerd
be
that hide him.
stealing girlfriends the whole
It's
time.
pretty much a stealing girlfriend business.
Yeah. He's like a private eye that then goes to the person that he's investigating and says, "I'm investigating you. Pay me, and I'll tell them bullshit."
Here, you were right. Here's some photos of your wife having sex with me.
He needs a squad. He needs a few more men.
As it gets bigger, he'll hire. But how can you trust? Some of those
How many
guys-
satisfied customers does he have? I mean, what is he
lot,
touting? His...
A lot. The LA Times picked this up.
Wow.
Shazali's doing business big time. Speaking of nerds, Scotiacon. I don't know how to pronounce this. It's in Scotland. Scotiacon. SCOT.
Scotiacon.
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 Yeah, Scotiacon.
Okay. Scotland's first ever furry convention is having their 10th annual convention.
Yeah.
In Glasgow this weekend.
All right. Nice.
Well, yeah. 1,200 furries are expected to stink up the Crown Plaza Hotel in Glasgow.
Yeah, real
They always hold them at the nicest hotels.
Yeah.
Well, they got money. I mean, they have those costumes are so expensive, dude. Like it's not. There's a
Furry's
barrier of
got
entry.
money. Yeah.
There aren't enough maids in the world. How many towels are going to be on hand? I mean, they better leave at least the 20 in each room on the nightstand, maybe 100 with what they're going to do to those rooms. Now there are some rules because the furry convention is one of those types of events that claims to be super safe. You ever been to one of these? Because they put up signs everywhere saying things like absolutely no harassment, physical or verbal, or racism of any type will be tolerated. You will be thrown out with no refund, zero tolerance. And everywhere you look, it's there, and which is great. But they fail to realize that it's odd to have to put that type of sign up everywhere at every single one of your events. Like, shouldn't that just be expected? Have you had some issues in the past, huh? With your people or animals?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you ever been to one of those events? I went to I think Party World Wrestling to prove I'm a nerd in Austin a few times. It's like an independent wrestling thing. And you show up and it's like everyone looks like Shazali. And every sign, it's like the first time you go there, it's like, oh boy. And every sign
spit on the workers
inside like a beer hall, and everywhere you look, that sign's up there. And I'm like, I'm glad it's up here, but why did they have some issues in the past? I think they might have, looking around the room.
Well, is the sign for the other guests of the hotel, or is it for the furries?
It's for the furries.
Oh, okay.
The signs are for the furries to not
please don't ejaculate on the other guests.
Yes.
Furries.
It's for the
What the
furries.
sign means to say, but it can't say it.
And you're right, Will. And this year they even have added some to their normal signs. This year they've added absolutely no speciesism, no harassment or being rude or exclusionary to furries of different species, like unicorns can't ostracise the minotaurs.
Whoa. Okay, so there's inner furry racism. I didn't know that.
There was. Not this year. Last year there was. There better fucking not be this year. You're not allowed to, quote, harass the species of someone's fursona.
Okay.
I mean, you got to think that would be just the most all-inclusive event ever. If you're a furry and you're surrounded by your fellow furries,
nothing's wrong with these people.
So you're not allowed to make fun of somebody else's costume, basically.
No, you better not be in the squirrel section only and like throwing acorns at the other species.
Hey, minotaurs and unicorns, you can't breed.
Yeah, you can't be like, oh, look at the dumb minotaur.
Yeah, the unicorn dudes are just upset that the minotaurs keep fucking their ladies. That's what's going on with that.
Yeah, I mean, I put in minotaur because that's what I would call it.
It's like the 50s South.
What's the half minotaur, half horse? That thing. Like the guy from the Old Spice commercial. Of course, they also literally had to include some verbiage like exhibition of art depicting pedophilia will not be tolerated this year. That's another one where
that's a good addition.
Another one where you hope to be part of a community where that's not necessary to point out, but
That's a big red flag.
Yeah.
Well, the furries,
all of it
furries,
is. Yeah.
they get carried away. And you know, you got to understand that about the furries, I think, is that they get carried away with it.
Mm-hmm.
They get carried away. It's easy to get carried away.
If there's even the potential for that, you should probably not hold the event.
Right, Wes. They said
They get carried away.
That's kind of what my point of the whole segment. They said, quote, no cub porn this year, whatever that means, or animals fucking humans with the art this year. They went on to say, the organizers went on to say, I'm not making any of this up. The organizers went on to say that we are aware that this is difficult. This is a difficult rule to follow since the actual age of drawn characters is open to interpretation, especially when they're in cartoon style. So you're like, we'll allow some kid porn. Just it's got to be very cartoony.
It's got to be tasteful and drawn.
Imagine how stressed the manager of that hotel is in the weeks leading up to this thing.
Oh man, yeah, but he's also knows that like they got cash.
And
I mean, the bartenders are pumped. You know what I mean?
Ironclad. Security deposits and all that.
Wes is taking his PTO and invited them there because he himself is a furry.
Well, plus nobody's reporting anything because nobody's gonna nobody's gonna create a police report of them at the furry convention,
right?
You know, so it's like, yeah, I mean, in some ways it's exciting because you know that no matter how bad it gets, you have some leverage. You know,
it was like when Mark and I used to work at the Wyndham, and the parrot heads would come. It was a good week because they would just be partying out there and fucking tip, and you know,
a lot weirder than the parrot heads, but
yeah, of course, but
it's just like the parrot heads.
Yeah.
If they were dressed in
I would have loved. Wouldn't you have loved if a furry convention came to the fucking Wyndham?
That's what I'm saying. I want to go to the Reno one, just get a room and just watch. You know, just like hang out. Just go to the casino, play poker, and watch furries walk around the casino floor the whole time.
Yeah. That's what's going on in Scotland. They did say toilet-related activities are highly discouraged, including scat, water sports, adult diapers, and vomiting on each other in the bathrooms. They pointed out a lot of the big ones.
That's a bird one. That's like a baby bird thing. They're like, the people in the bird costumes, they got to watch out. They'll just poop all over.
They said they don't entirely exclude the content, but they want it to be, maybe in your own bathrooms in the hotel, not the public ones.
Yeah, furry conventions are just an invitation for all the weirdos to come out. No matter what you're into, you can attend a furry convention. It sounds like.
You know what's hilarious? The rates for the week of the furry convention. I found it. It's October 14th to 17th here this year. It's extremely cheap to stay at the casino on those nights.
Yeah.
What does this
you at least?
What does this mean? Other species transcending sexual activity, in parentheses, for example, anthros in humans is generally allowed. What does that mean?
I have no fucking idea.
That's too
transcending sexual activity.
That's too deep into the furry lore for me. I don't know.
So you really gotta do your research before you just go to one of these things.
Anthro is short for anthropomorphic, which is when something not human is giving human characteristics.
But what does transcending sexual activity mean? Because that sounds semi-dangerous to me.
Yeah, I think that's when you put the lemon in your mouth. The lemon.
Does that mean you can't say no? Like, this is what I'm concerned about.
I think it's like the noose thing with the lemon wedge. By the way, I got that wrong. The furry dates of the convention are triple the normal price.
That makes more sense. Yeah.
Minimum of $300 a night if you want to get in the casino for furry week. So.
Yeah, it ain't cheap. Imagine the flights home are hilarious. Where do I put this head?
Drinking a penicillin milkshake in your mascot costume.
Yeah.
Okay. Weird.
There you go. Get your tickets every year at Glasgow the second week of February. That's the show. Thank you for tuning in. Please tell a friend who's into offensive 80% accurate news. And most importantly, get out there and have a great fucking day.